Hello and welcome to the behind the song video for my second single, Close to You. This is a love song, I guess, but not really in the traditional sense. It's not a song about kind of the instant love at first sight, crazy love that you get when you meet someone, but it's more about kind of the slow, creepy, uppy kind of love in a way. But it's also not a song about being in love exactly yet. It's more of a song about meeting someone and, feeling a connection and feeling like you could fall in love with this person in the future. I wrote the song in a bunch of different sessions rather than all in one go, and it took, it was over the course of a couple of weeks or so. It was more a verse here, a couple of lines there, and I wrote it on guitar initially, like most of my songs, but making voice memos of the different versions, the different drafts on my phone, until I had a full, complete draft of the song, which probably took, like I said, it probably took a couple of weeks or so, and I was doing other things in between. It was near the start of the lockdown last year, so I had a lot of time on my hands, and it was fairly relaxed with a lot of time to myself. And at that point, when I had the first draft, I started working on the production, which was pretty simple. It was basically just a little low-key synth pad and the lead vocal, and then the vocoder, which was kind of my focus of making that first demo, and I wanted it to be really chilled and relaxed. I worked on the song a little bit more by myself, refining the lyrics, developing the melodies, things like that, and then I took it into session with Lauren, who I worked with on the previous single. Like we did in that single, we did the sessions over Zoom, and we had a Google Doc with the lyrics up so that we could edit them together and see them together in real time, which is really handy when we're not actually in the same room physically. It's the next best thing, really. And then in between the different drafts of the song, I was developing the production so that it was a little bit fuller and a bit more developed, but it still had that really kind of chill feel that I wanted. So let's jump into the production now. So the production starts off with this little reverse sample based around the Dream Voice pad here. But I've also got a reverse kick drum, some bass, and the main pad from the verses as well. The Dream Voices are just an alchemy synth which I made and then reversed the sample to kind of suck you into that first verse. Like I said, the first verse, it's just got this pad here, which is pretty much the same thing as I had in the first demo that I made. It's got this little pumping sidechain effect on it, which you can hear, and then the only real main difference is the EQ sweep that kind of opens up as the verse goes along and brings out that top end. And there's the choir of vocoders that go along, and then the lead. When we come into the second verse here, we've got this palm mute piano bass instrument, which is basically it's the same effect as you get from palm muting on a guitar, but you've got it on the piano. It's one of my favourite instruments to use. It just brings a slightly different tone to a traditional piano sound. And then as we come into the chorus, we've got this more melodic plucked bass here, just doing something a little bit different. And also as we come into the chorus, it brings in the drums, which are doing something quite simple. It just keeps it moving, but I wanted to keep this kind of chill factor, this really nice relaxed vibe in the song. The other thing that I've got is these guitars here, which are doing these swells through a technique called violining, which is where you basically, with volume, you cut off the start of the attack sound and just grow into the chords, which is something I really like doing to sort of, I don't know, it's a nice effect. And I've doubled that with another guitar part doing the same thing. One of them is this one here, is a guitar recorded through my amp. The second one is a digital reamp through a guitar rig, and they're panned hard left and hard right just to help give you that really nice stereo width in the track. The other thing that we've got in the chorus is these other two vocals, where we've got the higher lead vocal, which is an octave above and one an octave below, which help reinforce that vocal line and add depth and tone to that texture. I created those octaves with Little Altar Boy, which gives it that kind of almost robotic feel without going as far as being a vocoder. And then I've got natural backing vocals as well. which go along with that vocoder. And gives you that really deep vocal texture. In the chorus, then the lead vocal is then doubled as we come in. It's doubled by this guitar part here, which helps reinforce the hook of the song. It goes, yeah, this is the hook, this is what you want to pay attention to. As we come into verse 3, we just cut out everything and it goes back to the same as the first set before the chorus, with the pad and the vocal and the vocoder. As we come into the second chorus, we've got another couple of guitars that come in, like this one here. We've also got this other guitar which is doubled again in left and right, which is in the first chorus. It just comes in slightly earlier for the second, which isn't. And we've also got a hi-hat in the drum kit here as well to keep it moving a little bit more. Drums basically doing the same thing otherwise. And we've also got another synth which is doing this one here. It's got a tremolo effect on it, a very fast tremolo which comes in the hook. And we've got the guitar doing the same thing, doubling the lead line, which carries on into the bridge, which is the high point of the song, where we also get this guitar doing these bends. It's kind of got high gain on it, a lot of reverb. I wanted to create this really big, huge amount of space on the track, and that's just something that adds a little bit of interest for me. We come into the breakdown chorus, which kind of cut most of the effects, and it just goes back to the vocal and the pad again before we come into the final chorus, just here. Final chorus has got everything in it, all the guitars, all the pads, all the vocals. And then into the final hook there. That's the song really, there's not much more to it. It was a very simple track to build. I wanted to keep it quite spacious and relaxed and chilled. There's the vinyl crackle effect that I've got on all of the tracks and some vintage processing that runs through the instruments and the vocal. But other than that, that's the track there.